All right guys, come on into our latest deal.
Downstairs bathroom, come through, open plan, kitchen, diner, really high spec.
So this one is going to be a children's home for one of our providers that we've partnered with. So there'll be potentially up to 3 children living here, and then obviously a member of staff on site at all times. So as you can see, it's a bit different from what we would usually go after, like HMO wise. This is more family orientated. Because we want them to feel at home, you know, that it needs to be a supported home for these kids.
You've got the utility area in here, lounge.
Go on mate, after you.
So bedroom 1 with an ensuite. I think this is going to be staff members. Yeah, I think this is going to be a staff members with the ensuite.
Yeah.
And then you've got second bedroom, which has a further ensuite with the service user. Same spec right the way throughout. Family bathroom, third bedroom. Again, service user, and then you got the 4th bedroom.
So this is Dan and James, absolutely killing it in the social housing space. Here in their latest deal right now, and yeah, gonna just go through exactly how did they come across a provider, how did they come across, and how did this deal get structured, because not everything's as simple as what online leads it to believe. So yeah, walk us through, how did you come across a provider in the first place?
So this provider we've actually worked with before. Initially reached out to them just via their website, found their email, contacted them, got chatting, and then we started putting properties their way, didn't we?
Yeah.
They were very active. They're a smaller company, but they're looking to grow quite heavily. Already well established.
So this is independent, nothing to do with the council, just independent?
No, so this is nothing to do with the council. This was just like typing Google keywords, specifically like Ofsted registered providers, and then going on their website, finding out a bit about them. See they're a smaller company because there's a few telltale signs on the About Us page and things like that. Contacted them, then they were very interested in working with us and you know what we were proposing, started passing properties their way.
Yep.
We've got a few through them already, and this is our 3rd one with them now.
Yeah, they're a provider looking to scale, and we've hit him at the right time.
Was that pure luck, or is it just because you knew where to look and they were struggling to scale because of the lack of the likes of you?
They already had a few properties, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were already set up and established in the area, but they were looking to aggressively scale because of the demand.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so you found the provider before you found the properties though?
Yeah.
Is that the standard route?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because you need to know what they're looking for, don't you?
Yeah, you need to know like if they're looking for a 3, 4, 5, 6 bedroom property, how many bathrooms, what location, things like that. So it's always worth getting that relationship with the provider first before you look for the property. Otherwise it could be a waste of time for yourself, the agent or the landlord, as well as the provider as well.
So the provider told you they wanted, what size property is this?
This is a 4-bed, isn't
4-bed, yeah.
And that was in their criteria?
Yeah, so their criteria is like minimum 4-bed, 2 bathrooms, which is pretty much sort of blanket for every provider, really, isn't it? 2 bathrooms.
Yeah, pretty much.
Something they can turn into a children's home.
So is that what this place is going to be, a children's home?
This one will be a children's home, yeah. So the other ones that we've done through them are for supported accommodation for care leavers, so 16 to up to 21 year olds.
Right.
And typically they look for like HMOs types of properties for that sort of setup. With this is slightly different because it's a children's home. They want it to actually feel like a family home because that's essentially what they're trying to replicate, right? So the criteria is slightly different, and that's why this property is very nice, high spec, you know, and you could see yourself living here.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. So the landlord of this place, talk us about, how did you find the landlord?
Yeah, James.
Yeah, so this landlord was on Gumtree. So obviously, like with open rent, you can get sort of shadow banned if you mention company let. So Gumtree is obviously that's you don't get shadow banned from that. But I took a risk on this property. So this was advertised, and I said that I'm really interested, looking to come for a viewing, but I've never mentioned anything about a company let. And I've done that twice.
That can be a dangerous game to play.
It's a very dangerous game, but I've done that twice, and what this time has paid off. So we come and we had a viewing, we had a chat with the landlord, and he was telling me how he developed it and what he's looking to achieve in terms of the rent. So we just sort of explained the model, saying, look, this is who we're working for.
So when you said that, did he react in this? Were you hasty on, now's the time to pitch? Like, I'm not a tenant looking to move in, I do this.
The way
describe that exact moment.
He was looking at us a bit funny, wasn't he? When
yeah,
we both rocked up together.
It was.
Like, are you guys living together?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did look at us. A little bit funny, but I wanted to get in front of him so I can pitch the idea to him.
Yeah.
I always think if I can get in front of the landlord and I can explain the model, I think that's always best. But again, it doesn't always work like that. But I took a gamble on it and it paid off.
Yeah.
And he was really on board with the idea pretty much instantly. So he was exchanging messages after the viewing, and he said, yeah, make me an offer. So we dished out to our provider. They were really interested, and we went on from there. We obviously had a viewing with the provider. They loved the property.
Yeah.
They knew it could work for what they were looking for. We obviously told them the price, and they were pretty much on board straight away, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And then we went ahead and made the offer to the landlord. That was a little bit of back and forth negotiation, but we finally got there. And yeah, he was fully on board after that point.
So you walk us through. You were telling me the story of the planning permission or the exemption of permission, not full permission. Walk us through how you got this house, because it wasn't straightforward, was it?
No.
Yeah, so with children's homes, you need to have planning in place. So like you would licensing for a HMO almost, but it's a different type of classification. So they needed, and what we've been experiencing, because we have a few providers that are looking for children's homes, is that they're going to need to hold the property for a period of time so they can go through that planning application. Now, try and get a landlord to hold their property for a potential tenancy for 3 months is going to be very difficult without some sort of commitment. So what we've always said to these types of providers is that you need to pay a non-refundable holding deposit up front, and oftentimes this is enough to secure it with the landlord. For this one example, we said we're going to need 6 weeks rent up front, which is effectively, if planning was to fail, you would lose that and the landlord would get that, and that would be their compensation for holding the property for you. Right?
Fair enough.
So they go through the planning process. It took about 2 months to get this one accepted.
Yeah, 2.5 months.
So that's through the council applying for it.
So the provider will do all of that. That's there. We don't have no involvement in that whatsoever.
Yeah.
So they'll go through, they'll put together everything they need. We don't know the ins and outs of it, do we?
No.
Because it's quite specialist. So they put forward.
But that's their business model,
exactly,
though, isn't
yeah,
it?
that's
The
what
social
they
housing
do.
providers are a business. They're not.
Yeah, exactly. So they're used to doing this, and they've gone through it before. They've got another children's home, so they know what they were doing. Put forward their application. Had to wait for it to come back, and then it come back, passed. So we then drafted up the leases, got the leases ready, all signed and sealed.
Yep.
And this one kicks off on the 25th of this month. So the landlord was happy with that, weren't they? The deposit.
Yep.
We sent that over to them at the start. We drafted an initial agreement, like an exclusivity agreement essentially. We will be passing you this amount of money, and you need to hold the property, and you can't let it to anybody else in the meantime. Should they do, then there's obviously consequences and things like that, but there is some sort of security there for the provider, for us, and for the landlord.
So what made the landlord go with you guys to turn this into a children's home as opposed to his initial thought of just renting to a family?
He wanted something really long term, didn't he?
You wanted long term.
Why do you think that is with landlords? Why do people go with rent to renters, company lets?
Yeah, I think once you talk them round to the benefits of it, it might actually make them understand, you know, the long term taking care of internal maintenance and things like that. And the real sweet point with partnering with a provider is oftentimes we can pay market value rents.
Yeah.
We're not massively undercutting them, are we? So they are getting what they are, the rent that they're asking for
With guaranteed rent.
with guaranteed rent, and for the duration, and it's completely hands off.
So here's a comment we get quite often. We're taking houses away from the housing market. Do you feel like you boys have done that with this house, or do you feel like you've solved a problem in many different parties?
Solved a massive problem. A massive problem. It's like I said before, we connect the dots between provider and landlord.
Yeah.
Whereas the provider, we want them to concentrate on the care that they're giving for their service users. They haven't got amples of time to be ringing agents like we have and looking for properties for service users, people with disability, children who are massively in need of a place to call home. So we're bridging that gap. Yes, we make money out of it. Of course we do. It's a business. But ultimately, we are providing a massive, huge beneficial service for these people.
You've done a property before, haven't you? And if you guys haven't seen that property tour, click here and go see one of James and Dan's previous houses, which was also a children's home. So you get a massive satisfaction doing what you do, don't you?
Yeah.
Because there's not many people doing social housing. It's mainly rent to rent, SA, HMO.
Yeah.
And there's still a bit of a kick out of that, but this seems like massive satisfaction kick. Like,
yeah, it's a lot more meaningful, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you see,
well, you see the end users.
Yeah, when you see the service users and things like that, the people that would be moving in. Like we've completed on another one that's starting in October. The contracts are signed, got a deposit the other day, and you went round with the family, didn't you? You actually got to meet
Yeah,
their
family
family
members, yeah.
and everything like that. And at the previous one that we did, and there's a YouTube tour of that one as well, like we got to see the service users there, the people that
Yeah.
actually be moving into the property, and how excited they were
Yeah.
to actually move in, to like, because they were getting such an upgrade from where they were currently staying. So this is like a kind of thing that we found with providers lately, is that they're rotating out of old stock because one, it's maybe too tired, or it's run down, or it's no longer accessible enough for their users, and they need something more specific or like a higher quality. So they're moving existing users into these newer places that we're finding for them. So it's so beneficial to them, and it helps everyone.
Yeah, we were stood outside when we were on that property, and we was looking at the service users going in, and they were picking their rooms, and just like imagining like what colours they were having on their. It was like a massive like, this is why we do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other one that we did, where we got the painting done, all the service users. So the provider gave us a list of all these different colour paints, and we were like, okay, because you were just reading them and you were thinking, okay, that sounds fine. Sky blue, lemon crush and all these ones, and we were like, okay, I wonder what this is going to look like. So the house is literally like, the rooms are designed for the people that are going to be moving in, and their specific like tastes.
But it's a massive so when you negotiate a deal for like a professional house share and you put in working professionals in there, it's a business and you're making money. But with this, there's an additional layer of satisfaction where yes, it's a business, you're making money, but you're also providing people with a home that they really need. And unfortunately there's such a massive demand for it, where you just onboard these providers and they let you know like how many referrals they get in a month. Some providers, they're getting messages every single day from the council about new referrals coming through, which is service users. Can you house these? Can you house them?
Exactly. Well, that's why the council would have gave permission, to allow this to be a children's home, because they can't meet the demand.
So it's beneficial for everyone involved, the council, us, the provider, the service user, and that's why we do it.
Do you ever feel like you're kind of going against the grain sometimes when you get the majority of people saying you're taking a house away from the market, and it's like, do you ever question yourself and what you're doing, or is the sense of achievement and what you've done and seeing the end users overpower all of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it, when people say, oh, you're taking it away from the market, but it's like we're finding houses for people that need houses anyway, so like, how is that the case? There's a lot of ignorant people that just jump to conclusions, or
assume
they've heard something somewhere and they're just regurgitating it. They're just regurgitating things that they have no idea about. It doesn't really affect us. We know what we're doing is good and helping a lot of people.
It's ethical, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly. Like our providers are really, our landlords are happy, our providers are happy, and we're happy.
I'd love to get these people all together and watch the service users go into one of our properties and just see see their faces.
So how old are these children that roughly live in, the children that are going to be living in this house? How old? What's the age range?
They would be younger kids, wouldn't they?
I think it's like between 10 to 16, is it? Something like that.
So that's amazing. Like, even on all parties, you're tick the box, like you're helping kids. The landlord, the house he's a builder, he done this house, right? All of the hard work is now he's going to know that he's done it for children. Like, it's sense of achievement and satisfaction, morality throughout everything, from start to finish. It's like, but James, you joined me a year and a half ago.
Year and a half.
You've achieved a hell of a lot in that time. How has your journey been to date, and what have you learned?
It's been amazing. What I've learned is obviously onboarding providers and knowing what the demand is like out there. But
you were slightly entrepreneurial before, though, weren't you? You run your own independent estate agency.
I was in property before, selling property, but that wasn't making a recurring income. That was just sort of like spits and spats of profit here and there. So I wanted something recurring, something involved with property, and I come across yourself, rent to rent. Realised the area that I was in had a massive need for it. So then we just went through the process of obviously booking calls and viewings and things like that. And
how tough was it at the start?
It was tough. It was.
Do you think it should be tough?
I think it should be, because I think it weeds out the people who want to do it to the people who are just along for the ride. If you really have that mindset of you want to be involved in this and you want to have that need of providing properties like this spec to people of like children and things like that with learning disabilities, then I think it needs to be hard, because it's not an easy game. But obviously I partnered up with Dan. We're doing really, really well, and we're on to massive, bigger and better things. I'd never look back. I won't regret anything.
What's been your biggest challenge today in terms of your mindset, the community around you, the family around you? how business is in general? What's been the biggest challenge that you remember so far?
I think the biggest challenge was sort of pitching the idea to the wife. To be honest, because obviously, like, you've got to convince yourself that.
I love that, by the way.
You've got to convince yourself that what you're doing and the investment that you make is going to be worth it. But to have your partner, or even like your parents and things like that, to have them on board and pitch that idea to that you are doing something that you know is going to work. To overcome that challenge, I think it's been the hardest thing. But it wasn't long before we obviously.
I guarantee so many people will be able to relate to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, isn't it? It's just one of those things where you think like, oh, should I tell the missus?
The amount of time I speak to people, it's like, yeah, I'll have to speak to the wife, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Are you looking for her support or are you looking for her permission?
It's a bit of both, isn't it? Really, but. It's an investment, and if people don't understand why you're doing it or the reasons behind it, then it come across a bit challenging. But
that is a challenge because you're sold on yourself and you believe in yourself and you see the model and you're like, I really want to do it. So then someone that doesn't know as much as you say no.
Yeah,
that can be, I don't know, many different avenues you can go down from there. But
just for the video, the wife's great. She loves it now.
She's happy days.
She's happy days. Yeah, but
love you.
I think for somebody who's not involved in property and having that initial investment into the training, which you definitely 100% do need to start this journey, to really sort of have other people on board and understand why you're doing it is the challenge that I had to overcome. But it wasn't a big challenge, but it was still a challenge nevertheless.
Yeah, awesome. So what about yourself, Dan? What's been, you've achieved some great things so far and it's definitely not even going to slow down. So what's the biggest challenge for you in entrepreneurship? Because what were you doing before you joined Rise Up?
Software developer.
Yeah,
working from home, which was fairly a new thing for me as well. I was only doing it for about a year. Soon realised that ultimately I want to work for myself. The hardest thing over time, my hardest thing lately is patience.
I think
being patient, and I think once you get to a certain level in business, you want everything done now. Everything's got to happen fast, and you want other people to be the same, and you realise they're just not, and that is so painful, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're trying to rush things through or get deals done, and everything's just like, oh yeah, I'll get back to you in a couple of days' time. It's like, well, no, why can't you do it now?
I think it's an amazing. I literally done a piece on this the other day. Impatience, I think, is the best trait.
Yeah.
Have patience with people, but being impatient with yourself and your journey and what you want to achieve, I think being impatient is a superpower. It's like being very proactive, dropping everything in the moment to do something more important. Not over planning, not overthinking. It is a hell of a superpower. Staying up late at night and your wires are just I love being impatient, and I get told quite often, Kenny, you need to be more patient. And I'm like, in what field? Like my business field? Absolutely not. Dealing with people? Maybe.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's trying to realise that not everyone is the same, not everyone operates the same, and just trying to be patient as you can and realise the things that you are in control of and getting those things done quickly and getting those done, getting it done fast. The good thing is that we're both like that.
Yeah.
And that's why we
work well together.
But when there's moving parts in the deal and stuff like that, it feels like you're always waiting on something and nothing is happening as fast as it should. And that's one of the major things that I struggle with. And I think, new people can probably relate with that, like when they're first making calls and stuff like that and they're not getting a viewing, or they're not, it's been taking them ages to get their first deal and stuff like that. You've got to be patient. You've got to be impatient, but then also more consistent than patient, right? You've got to trust the process, continue to work it, take action now, and it will come.
Yeah, I've always been an absolute believer. When the ball is in your court, put it back in their court ASAP.
Definitely.
And then it's out of your control. You can't do anything. That's the time to be patient. Or just follow up. Prod.
Definitely.
Yeah. So this deal, how much did you have to put together? Did you have to whitewash walls, clean skirting boards? What did you?
Pass that now, haven't we, mate?
We've done that one property. We're not doing it again.
So in terms of investment from your business into this property, how much money have you put in?
Altogether?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Altogether, carry the one, take away.
Zero. Nothing.
Nothing at all. We had the viewing.
Is that quite common though?
We've done it on 1, 2, 3 of our properties. 3 of our properties, but that's getting the provider in and then saying we want sort of feature walls and can you do this, can you do that? But it's more negotiation, what they're willing to do to what we're willing to do.
Yeah.
Would you say it's just if they ask you to do something that's quite minor, such as feature walls?
Yeah, if it's
I'd
something
say so.
that's going to like
Nothing that, yeah.
Yeah, if it's going to make the deal go forward
Yeah.
smoothly, we're quite happy to do certain bits and pieces. But a lot of the time, because you're giving the landlord such a good deal,
Yeah.
you can say to them, well, come on, this needs to be sorted, or,
Yeah.
you know, could you do that first, or whatever. And then also the providers will do a lot of things as well, won't they?
I think our the property that we've just completed on, that sort of ticks that box because they wanted a wet room. At the moment, it's just a sort of office room, which is it's a massive sort of conversion to what they're looking for. So we had to get the landlord on board, obviously pitching the idea, who they're sort of housing here and why they need a wet room. So they're looking at doing that themselves, and this contract's been signed and the deal's complete.
Yeah.
That's probably the major refurb of we won't be doing it, but the provider is willing to do that. So that's a lot of investment for what they need.
So how much is this property going to profit you guys per month?
900 a month, isn't it?
And what have you got to do every month to get that?
But yeah, nothing really. Make sure everything runs smoothly, essentially. Like, you know, we'll be the first port of call. Should anything in the house go wrong or anything like that, they'll come to us. But then, you know, if it's anything that we would be liable for, that gets passed upstream to the head landlord.
The hard work's been done.
Yeah.
You know, finding the property, negotiating with the landlord, finding the provider, getting them round for a viewing, negotiating that price, and obviously waiting for the certificate of lawfulness to be cleared. And then now that's done.
I think that's what people really struggle to wrap their head around. Passive income, getting money for doing nothing. But you've added all of the value by packaging it together.
Yeah.
Solving the landlord's problem, solving the provider's problem, giving the product, and then you get paid for the rest of the term for doing barely anything. People struggle to wrap their heads around passive income, I think.
Yeah.
Just because most people are in jobs and they go to jobs every day to get paid, you've structured a deal, and the 3 years of passive income almost seems unbelievable and too good to be true, you know, that sort of saying. You've delivered your value and now you've been paid for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of work on the front end, isn't there?
100%, yeah.
Once it's set up, operations are like nothing, and that's why we're so set on this model, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's not the ongoing operations.
For what, 3-4 months of like emails, viewings, phone calls, follow-ups?
I bet if you consolidate all of the hours you put in,
Yeah, it's not a lot.
no, a week,
It's not.
max.
Yeah,
max.
really. It's just spread over
It's
that
just,
period of time.
yeah.
It's like Dan said, like the impatience. You want it to be like, right, view the property, make an offer on the same day, contract the next day.
A bit like SA and HMO.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But it never works like that because there's so many moving parts. Like the council's involved in obviously getting the certificate of lawfulness.
There's more parties involved, isn't there?
Yeah. There's a lot of people that need all the box to be ticked, and
More
viewings, and other people like staff members want their viewing as well, and they want to see the property. And there's a lot involved, and it takes a lot longer to get over the line than it does at sort of professional house share like a HMO. But once you've got it over the line, you can benefit so much more from it.
Yeah.
So for anybody that is watching this video or listening to this video interested in getting started, is it like area dependent in the UK, or is there like a UK demand? What's people's first step into getting into this?
I think when it comes to like demand, it's essentially unlimited, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
There's always going to be people needing care, isn't there?
exactly, yeah. And we focus very much so on supported living or supported accommodation. So there's an element of care there that's happening in the property, and there's people everywhere, like unfortunately, with disabilities or coming out of foster care, or they haven't got parents, they need to live in a children's home, that sort of thing. These things unfortunately aren't going to end, are they?
No.
We can help these people out, these business owners. We can help them find the right properties that they need.
Yeah.
And it's all over the UK. And to get started, essentially, is reaching out and finding those providers, offering that service to them.
It's building that relationship you know, with us and the provider. What are you looking for? What needs do you have? What obstacles do you have to overcome to get a property? And it's sort of like relieving those obstacles and say, well, we can do that. We can find you the properties, or we can call the agents. And you know, as I say, as a business, we do make money on it, obviously, but it's that satisfaction of when you do build up that relationship with the provider and you get them what they're looking for, and then you see the end product with their service users going in and thinking, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is my home for the next however long they want it for. It's like, yeah, the hard work's done and we move on to the next one.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. And you're helping their business grow as well. Like,
Yeah.
I was speaking to one of our providers, the one that's taken this on the other day, and she was just like, I'm so thankful for you guys, like the service you provide. It's like, she was like, how long have you guys been doing this? This is such a brilliant idea. Like, I was struggling so much to try and find a landlord, like, you know, and you guys have just passed me loads of properties.
Why do you think that is?
Because they specialise in care.
Yeah.
They have a care business.
And you specialise in...
we source
Exactly,
properties.
Yeah.
You know, it's our job, it's our business model to build relationships with landlords,
Connect the dots.
and agents, and now we're just connecting the dots, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's an operational side of their business that they can completely hand off to somebody else.
I speak to a lot of people that want to try their hand at it before they take themselves seriously. Call a few providers, see if they're open to it. And I'm just like, why would you do that? Just trust that it works. And either do you want to do this? You know, it's like watching people drive a car and thinking, I'll drive a car across town before I start doing driving lessons. You're gonna fail.
Yeah.
You know, or what if the provider says, yeah, come in for a meeting? You're going to completely embarrass yourself because you don't know how to answer their questions. You don't know what to say. And you're just wasting their time. So don't waste your time. Is there any advice that you would give to people doing that sort of tactic?
It's just building a relationship. I mean, like, how many meetings have we been in with providers?
Yeah.
It's not a case of like you ringing like a landlord up asking if they do an agent if they do a company let, yes or no. It's, you know, you ring a provider up, what are you looking for? Would this model, what we're bringing, would work for you, yes or no? Or can we go for a coffee somewhere and meet up and let us know what you're looking for and what sort of cap in terms of rental you can have and what service provider you use, and
There's a lot to it.
there's so much to it.
How can we help you?
Yeah,
Not can you
100%.
help us scale our business?
Yeah, exactly that. And it's building that relationship, about building that trust, then start passing in properties what they require, and then obviously, you know, you end up with great relationships. You only really need one provider who's looking to scale. To have more gives you that diversity of 2-3 bedrooms, some looking for 6-bed HMOs, some looking for flats, bungalows, blocks of flats. So to have a lot more providers takes a lot more sort of phone calls, relationship building, and that time is taken up by doing that. But once you get one property with one provider, you can have this and potentially profit you £900 a month passive income for the next 3 to 5 years, potentially more.
So you guys have young families, busy lives, right? How much time does it require to start a rent to social housing business? How much time are you guys putting in? Can you do it alongside full-time jobs?
Yeah, I think you can you?
Yeah. Well, you're full-time, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm still full-time.
I'm part-time. Yeah, I think it's like with anything, isn't it? It's like what you're willing to commit to it is what you're willing to get the results for. Like, you know, if you're going to go to the gym once a week, you're probably still going to look crap in 6 months' time, right? Like, you need to
say it how it is.
You need to commit to something, right?
Yeah.
You need to put a certain amount of effort into something, take it seriously and commit to it. But yeah, absolutely. Like, it doesn't take long to send, you know, some emails for the day, follow up with some calls, schedule some calls in for, you know, some time that you've got free.
Discipline.
Yeah, it's just about consistency, deciding that you're ready to make a change, and ask yourself, like, well, what if this is an interest of yours and something that you're looking into, then like, why not pursue that? If you've got that natural curiosity, to me, you should follow that. Whereas if you do nothing, then what's going to happen? If you're obviously not, if you're looking at doing something like this, then you want a change.
Yeah, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Exactly.
That's an impactful saying.
Yeah. Why, if nothing changes from now until 12 months' time, and you've had this interest all that time's just been wasted. You've not acted upon it. So just take a leap of faith on yourself, or just follow your curiosity and see where that goes. You're going to be in no worse off position, are you?
I think you've got to value time as well. For me, I deem life so short. I hate wasting time. I hate wasting time. I leverage time wherever I can. On the way here, audiobooks, podcasts. Yeah. I listen to the odd soundtrack to, like, you know, just switch off for a minute. But that switch off for a minute is still like mindset work, you know, like, you know, okay, it's not just aimlessly driving. There's always a reason behind doing something all of the time. You know, or Sundays is just like full on switch off. That's for other people, supporting the family. And I'm still planning. Like, I'm doing this week. It's like valuing time, I think, is really important.
Yeah, definitely.
And everyone's got their own everyone wants something different, right? Like, some people want to scale a huge business, and then there's other people that just want a bit of their time back. You know, they don't want to be checking into their 9 to 5 all the time. They just want to be able to have a couple of days free every week, which they can spend with the family, or go on more, like, an extra holiday in the year because you've got a business that's making you money and it's relatively sort of hands off. Like, yes, obviously it takes effort. You know, you put that effort in and then you get that reward, like with anything. You've not got to, like, put everything into this unless you really want to build something and scale something, and that's within you know what I mean? Everyone's different. But with this, you could get a handful of properties, not have to do your 9 to 5 anymore, spend more time with your family.
It's so worth it, isn't it? There's another common saying, it's like, I would die for my family. It's like, okay, why don't you become financially free for your family?
If you wanted to do that, why don't you just put in the effort?
Yeah, an hour per day, concentrate on mindset.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't got the time to get to networking events, you can still get to networking events in your mind.
Yeah.
Podcasts, books, YouTube. Just surround yourself with people online, even if you can't allocate the time to get to these people in these networking events.
Yeah.
Work on your mindset.
Yeah.
So many books out there that will put you in the right frame of mind to be like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, definitely.
So the deal is, well, it's 3 years with an automatic extension of 2 years, unless either party wants to serve notice, so it's locked in for 3 years. We're paying the landlord £2,300 a month, and the provider's paying us £3,200 a month, so we're making £900 profit.
Yeah, amazing. No, well done, boys. You know, I say it every time I come to see you. This isn't the last property that you guys. You're loving your journey, which is the most important part as well, isn't it? Loving what you do. So well done. You're an inspiration to many, without a shadow of a doubt.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah, you really are. Like, I'm proud of you. Other mentees are proud of you. You're an inspiration. You're an inspiration. It's nice.
Yeah.
I truly believe being an inspiration is quite a powerful feeling to have. Knowing you're inspiring others.
Yeah.
Takes all the negative side of life out of everything. I think it's like there, I'm inspiring people, and you are 100%.
Yeah.
You see it in the legacy chat.
Yeah.
You know, so well done. Keep going. It's incredible to watch.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
See you.